Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes of what's been happening through the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, that old history dude. We know the princes, the presidents, and the prime ministers and all the important decisions that they make, but what about the people that never make the headlines? Join me as we look today at Unsung Heroes. Dr. Ruth Westheimer, talk show host, Sorbonne and Columbia graduate. At 4'7", an elderly lady whom you'd feel right at home sipping chamomile tea. In reality, a skilled sniper and deadly expert with grenades. Little Corolla Ruth Siegel was sent to Switzerland to escape World War II, but lost her entire family in the Holocaust. At 16, she moved to Israel and joined the paramilitary Haganah. They discovered completely by chance that I was a lethal sniper. I could hit the target smack in the center further away than anyone else could believe. Not just that, even though I was tiny and not much of an athlete, I was incredibly accurate throwing hand grenades too. Her budding special ops career was cut unexpectedly short. My legs were almost ripped off on my 20th birthday in 1948 in Jerusalem by cannonball shrapnel, which exploded in the students' residence where I was living. 3 other students were killed instantly, and many more were wounded. After healing, she moved to Paris and taught kindergarten before pursuing a career in psychology. So what did this kindly little old lady say in later years? Even today, I can load a Sten automatic rifle in a single minute blindfolded. Dr. Ruth, one seriously dangerous lady. One World War II hero actually saved lives from inside Auschwitz. World War II Jews were dragged off at all hours, never to be seen again. But not always. Some survived the horrors of the Holocaust through the bravery of a British soldier ironically named Charles Coward. Coward was captured at Dunkirk with the 8th Reserve Regimental Artillery. Fluent in German, he attempted to escape 7 different times, even earning the German Iron Cross for his bravery. Finally found out he was sent to Auschwitz III work camp, 5 miles from the death camp, in December of 1943. Coward's fluency in German soon earned him the post of Red Cross liaison officer and great freedom of movement. Witnessing the arrival of Jews in the nearby death camp, he started setting aside food, medicine, and supplies to smuggle to them. He was soon sending coded dispatches to the British War Office detailing conditions in the camps, including the mass slaughter. Coward even slipped into the Jewish camp to gather first-hand information. Buying non-Jewish dead bodies from the Germans in exchange for chocolate, Coward rescued many Jews from death by using these new IDs. Known as the Count of Auschwitz, he gave devastating testimony against the Nazis at Nuremberg. In 1954, the film The Password is Freedom was made of his life. Some heroes got their start at a very early age. Where did British Prime Minister Winston Churchill with the V for Victory salute get the courage to stand alone against the Germans in World War II? He was a serious action hero in his younger days. The red-headed, freckle-faced youngster had run for Parliament, written 3 books, and participated in 4 wars on 3 different continents, all by the age of 25. One newspaper reporter captured young Winnie's aggressive personality by dubbing him Pushful the Younger. When the Brits attacked the Dutch Boer farmers in South Africa in 1899, Churchill was hired as a war correspondent by the London Daily Post, earning more than either Rudyard Kipling or Arthur Conan Doyle for similar work. Churchill was captured when his train was derailed by the enemy and sent to Pretoria as a POW. On December 12, 1899, Winston scaled the prison fence and made a dash for freedom. Unable to speak the local language and having no map, he evaded pursuers, hid out in a coal mine, and covered an astonishing 300 miles with just 4 chocolate bars and a biscuit before reaching freedom. Returning with English troops, he helped free the other 180 British prisoners. Back home, he ran for Parliament as a war hero, and a legend was born. Others became heroes even younger than that. Orion P. Howe was a drummer in the 55th Illinois Volunteer Infantry. On May 19, 1863, Union General Ulysses S. Grant staged a full-scale frontal attack on the entrenched Confederates in an attempt to take Vicksburg, Mississippi. Howe refused to leave the deadly battlefield until he had hand-delivered word to General William Sherman from his colonel that the regiment was running out of ammo. But Colonel Oscar Malmberg had made a fatal error. He requested 54 caliber cartridges instead of 58 caliber ammunition. Undeterred, Howe and several others volunteered to brave the gunfire-swept field to deliver the correct message. An eyewitness wrote, "He ran through what seemed a hailstorm of canister and musket balls. Suddenly he dropped and heart sank, but he'd only tripped. Often he stumbled, sometimes he fell prostrate, but was quickly up again, and he finally disappeared. All the other messengers were killed." Orion Hatch was 14 years old. For his gallantry, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Severely wounded, the teenager Ryan Hatch mustered out in 1864, the veteran of 14 battles. In appreciation for his unhesitating bravery, Hatch was appointed to the Naval Academy. Why Annapolis instead of West Point? Hatch was still too young to join the Army. And that's about it for this episode of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes of what's been happening throughout the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, author, historian, and speaker, hoping that all of your history may be just a little bit weird.